Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Ryan Gerdes. And once again, Justin Frederick is MIA, but we love him anyways. You're going to want to go ahead and text the word election. I know it's a big word, but you can do it. Text the word election to 623 AZ Recon. That's election to 623 AZ Recon.
So I'm going to cut you off real quick because I saw some master marketing the other day. I saw a billboard, and in big black bold letters, it said, "It's election time," and it said, "We don't really care about that. We just want you to come get your GNC nutrients, like vitamins and whatnot." And I was like, "Good for you, man! You caught their attention and made
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't think it's not people don't care. It's people are just tired. I'm tired of the commercials and the ads and the phone calls and the text messages and
impale myself with this microphone.
Now I got to go down. Now you're going to make me digress because we're going to talk about what does the election mean for the real estate market and whether it's worth waiting or not. But I had this thought. We always complain and cry about politicians, and I don't care what side of the aisle. This is not a party conversation, but we always complain and cry how they always think that they're above the law and they answer to their own set of rules and things like that. And I was thinking about it. Before they ever get elected, we're handing them special rules that they get to operate by. I cannot put up my real estate sign on every flippin' corner of the valley. I'm not permitted to. Okay? No one's permitted to, but people running for office are. I'm not allowed to call you if you're not on the do not call list. Okay? But if I'm running for office, I'm allowed to. And I was talking to my mom who lives in Pebble Creek. It's a gated community, but it's like a security compound, the way they have this thing locked down. You are not allowed to solicit. You are not allowed in there to knock on doors and sell. They don't even let the Girl Scouts in there. But if I'm running for office or I'm trying to get people to register, I'm allowed to. They start off with a different set of rules.
The message that it sends is, that it builds in hypocrisy. And
they start off with, yes. That was my point. Anyway, anyways, we do have a election right around the corner. And Ryan, we've just been hearing it. And I have people that in the marketing industry and lots of industries where people are just waiting. They're not wanting to commit until after the election. So I'm going to ask you this. What do you think, and I'm not asking you who you think is going to win, but what do you think is going to happen after the election? What is going to change for people?
That's a great question. And actually, last night, so by the time this airs, it'll be a few days ago. But we're sitting down with somebody who I consider to be a very astute professional in the real estate industry, and he said himself, I'm probably just going to wait to do my next investment property until after the election. And I said, okay. I was like, there's somebody who that is literally sitting in the same world that I sit in. And he's concerned about it, and so I said, "You've had your license since 2010, I think he said." And I said, "So you've been through a market where it went from red to blue and blue to red and back to blue, and a couple of different election cycles, and you tell me what changed after." It either switched parties or or even when Obama got reelected or whatever. What changed after that? And he kind of shrunk down. He goes, nothing.
But this time it's different, they tell me.
Yeah, but this time it's different. There's more noise. There's more this. There's more that. And it just I know that I'm going to wake up the morning after, and I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to become a better or a worse person. I'm not going to be a better or a worse businessman. I'm not going to be a better or worse husband. I'm not going to be a better or worse father. Every element of my life is going to change. Is going to stay the same. I know that there's many listeners out there that says, "Well, Ryan, that's very naive of you to say because, if this or that happens, we could be going to war, and you have a 17-year-old son that is very ripe age of going into the military, and when that comes knocking on your door, you're going to be singing a different song, and if we or if we do that, it's going to hit your pocketbook like this because there could be a ration, there could be a this, there could be a that." I understand that. I'm still not going to mortgage who I am and what I do. Now, I might have to take priority on certain things because it might be knocking on my doorstep. But as far as business goes, I'm going to pivot with it. And so if interest rates decide to go up into the teens because of inflation or whatever, like we experienced during World War I, well, then I'll pivot with it. All I know is that whenever there's an extreme thing that happens in the market, there's obscene amounts of opportunity that reveal themselves. What is that opportunity? I don't know yet. But I'm not going to let this next election dictate who I am, and I am going to continue to look for good deals for myself and for my clients, and we are going to, and we're going to stay the course. And that being said, I don't think anything is going to change.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And to me, elections are just noise. It is an opportunity for the media on both sides to get everybody riled up. It's an opportunity for the media to generate higher ratings, sell more ad space. You and I did years in radio. We know radio stations during elections, they love elections because they're selling more ad space. And so it's just noise that people get caught up in. Savvy investors, people who are making money, and not just investing in real estate. The election has no bearing. A good deal is a good deal. Numbers don't lie. Numbers are numbers. They're not, and yeah, maybe the world goes to hell in a handbasket. What they're not doing is they're not coming and taking my dirt from me. They're not, and so for me, it's, there's a lot of factors that go into when I'm going to buy my next property. And one of them has nothing to do with the election. If a great opportunity and the numbers lined up tomorrow, weeks before the election, I'm great. So what I think is going to happen after the election, I think that, and it's funny because most people are waiting because they want to see they're waiting for good deals to start coming. I think the good deals are here and now. My personal opinion, and the number of good deals I think are going to shrink after the election. I think it's going to backfire on people.
I think that there's a lot of testimony and a lot of evidence of that. And when you see the leaders of your community and the leaders of of America, and I'm not talking about political leaders, I'm talking about the industry leaders, the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk, etc. What are they doing? They're expanding like hell right now. They're implementing new technology. They're doing massive land grabs. They're investing heavily into AI, cybersecurity, all kinds of different IT, and so that tells me, well, it doesn't really matter if the Tom, Dick, and Harrys aren't transacting because the big boys are doing exactly that. And so all this, well, I'm not some big timer. I'm we should probably tax the rich more. Okay, at the end of the day, that's not going to hurt them, right? They're going to continue
To make more money.
they're going to continue to make more money. They're going to continue to toe the line. They just might have to do it in a different fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might if they throw massive tariffs, then what are they going to do? They're going to move industry stateside, and if not, then they're going to keep the industry in China. And whether or not you agree with it doesn't matter. The moral of the story is that if you are wanting to take yourself to the next level, you need to start thinking like a leader. You need to start thinking like the winners of the industry. And I have so much to learn, and I'm so far away from being to where those guys are. But I'll tell you what, I have a leg up because I'm following and listening to what the people who are succeeding are doing, rather than getting scared and listening to other scared sources that are doing jack shit.
It's true. Winners are winners, right?
Winners win and losers lose.
Lose, and I agree. And we'd love to have this conversation with you. We'd love to explore more of why I personally think that right now are the good opportunities. And we'd love to talk to you about how the election is going to impact the real estate market and how you can take advantage of it. All you got to do is text the word election to 623-AZ-RECON. That's election to 623-AZ-RECON. I might butcher his name. You probably know his name better, but I think it's Ryan Serhant.
Yeah, you're close enough. Yeah,
Let's go with it. He's the real estate broker known on $1 Million Listing. And he had an interesting quote and an implication, and it kind of just made me think about it for a second. And
his metaphors are good.
And he basically indicated that the current real estate market is frustrating Americans. What came immediately to my brain was, well, why? Why are you so frustrated? Are you creating your own frustrations? Why are Americans so frustrated about the market? Because opportunities are always there. If you know how to find opportunities and you know where to go. And I think for a lot of people, they're finger pointing and saying, oh, it's the seller's fault, or it's the bank, lender's fault, and it's the government's fault, and whatever. You control your own emotions. You control your own thought process. If you are frustrated about the market, that frustration is on you. You're choosing to be frustrated instead of just sitting back and taking a deep breath. And I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, but it's take that deep breath. Cooler heads prevail. Sit back and go, okay, there's nothing to be frustrated about because there's opportunity out there.
Mm-hmm. I do think that in markets like this, it's important to be diverse. I know that in 2021, everyone was just dumping every last penny that they had into real estate, and it didn't matter how much money they put into it. They were still making, $1 to every nickel that they threw into it. And so because we're not there, I think that it is important to get a little bit more horizontal. I think that it's important to have some cash. I think that it's important to have reserves of cash, have some stock, have some real estate, have all these different things so that you can weather whatever storm is out there, because it can get frustrating, and I think that that's probably the smartest thing to do in order to hedge those bets, if you will. But we've learned over cycle after cycle, which is about 7 to 10 years in the real estate world, that it does nothing but win in a long term. And so if you are thinking about putting money into the real estate side, and if you don't have experience flipping, then you need to understand that you're walking into a long-term hold. And there's really no other way to put it. We've unfortunately ran into some people that they see one of these little ticks, which you've heard us talk about on Monday. They see a little tick in the market, whether it be days on market or inventory or values or whatever. They see a small little tick, and then they want to make a drastic reaction to it. And that's just not the way to do it. if you're going to put your money in real estate right now, be ready to keep it in there for, I'd say, at least 5 years.
All right. Well, we'd love to have that conversation with you, whether you're looking at long-term holds, flipping, whatever the case is. If you'd like to explore strategies or simply just take advantage of the market right now and buy a home, all you got to do is text the word election to 623-AZ-RECON. That's election to 623-AZ-RECON. It's really funny because we do, and we're very appreciative of our listeners, and we're appreciative of the people that comment and like our podcasts on all the podcasts and the TikTok and Instagram. I just called it the TikTok, so I'm definitely sounding old.
I think it's clear we hire somebody to help us with that.
Okay, cat's out of the bag. And we do. We appreciate everybody who listens, and we do appreciate everybody who chimes in. But there's always those people that are like, well, I just would never buy real estate. And, the real estate markets, this is a terrible market to buy. And it's like they think that they're hurting us. You're not hurting us. You're not hurting me. We're going out. We're buying. We're investing. Mm-hmm. That narrow-minded, closed-minded attitude keeps people from building wealth, whether in real estate or other avenues.
The people that have amassed the most amount of wealth have made and lost many fortunes. And so I know that that's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. I know that, and I have not done it to the level that these guys have, but done quite a bit, and it drives my wife crazy. And so I get it. But the sweetest fruit is out on a limb. You've heard me say that before.
All righty. Well, we would like to help you reach the limb. Reach the fruit on the limb.
There you go.
All right. All you got to do is text the word election to 623-AZ-RECON. It's amazing that we started this episode talking about elections.
Yeah.
Again, text the word election to 623-AZ-RECON.